Start out with more drama-oriented, a little bit more serious. First on our list is William and his group.
Do I know where Glenn is?
Our skit begins right after the last supper.
Listen, everyone, I have something I need to tell you. Each and every one of you will turn away from me at one point in your life. But I'm making a way for you to come back to me.
No way! Not me, Jesus. Now you know old Simon Peter is different. And you know I ain't never turned away from you.
Peter, when you do finally come back to me, I have something I need you to do.
Come back to you? Jesus, you know I'll die before I'll leave you. You know I'm different.
Peter, before the rooster crows twice this very night, you'll deny 3 times that you know me.
Now Jesus, I know you usually know what you're talking about. But you know there ain't no way that I am going to deny it. You know I'm different.
Okay, Peter, I have to go.
I'll be right there, Jesus. But you do know I'm different, right? Can you believe him? He's always trying to teach us something. He uses these riddles. They're hard to understand, but he knows I'm different. He knows I'm different. I mean, after all, he's the one who calls me the Rock. Think about it. God promised this universe for thousands of years, this world, a Savior. Who was the one man who recognized that Jesus was that promised Savior? Who was the first one? The Rock. That's who. And think about this. Whose boat did he go into when he wanted to teach all those people on the seashore that day? Huh? Mine. Who stepped out of the boat and walked on the water with him? The Rock. That's who. I sort of sunk like a rock, but he calls me the Rock for a reason. And whose house was he in when he cast out all those demons? And when he healed all those people, whose house was he in? Mine. And who did he trust to stay in the room that day that he healed up and raised that little girl from the dead? The Rock. And who did he trust to go up to that mountain with him when his face became like the sun and his clothes became like a bright light? Me. And what about the keys, huh? What about the keys to the kingdom of heaven? Who did he trust those to? The Rock. That's who. He knows I'm different. He's just testing me. He knows I'll never deny him.
Later in the garden, Jesus leaves with the guards. Like he said, everyone else has run away. Peter has snuck into the
How's
house
that?
and warms himself by the fire.
Poor king. Crown of thorns looks pretty good on your head there. You bowing your head in shame? Did somebody hit you? Who was it, Mr. Prophet Man?
Hey, you were also with that Jesus of Nazareth.
You don't know what you're talking about, woman. I've never met that man.
Hey, look everyone, this man was also with Jesus of Nazareth.
Hey, now listen. I said it once. I'll say it again. I have never met this man.
Listen how he talks. This is him.
Hey, are you deaf, man? I said I don't know him. I swear on my life. I've never met him. I've never heard of him. I don't even know who this Jesus of Nazareth even is.
Peter, before the rooster crows twice this very night, you'll deny that you know me 3 times.
Oh, what have I done? What have I done? But I'm different! I just knew I was different. But it would come time to buck up and be a man, I still betrayed him. Even after he rose from the dead, all I could think about was myself. And all I could think of was, why is he waiting? He told us about this beautiful place where we could all be invited to go. A place called heaven where there would be no bad. So I knew there's no way he could allow a traitor in. He had to throw me away. So what was he waiting for? It's all I could think about. A little later, we were all together and Jesus turned and he stared at me. And I knew then my wait was over.
Peter, do you love me?
No. No. Yell at me. Tell me what a piece of trash I am. Humiliate me in front of everyone. Don't ask me that. I don't have to talk about it before you throw me away. Just get it over with. I know. I'll tell him what he wants to hear. Maybe that'll end the conversation. Yes, Lord. You know I love you. As soon as the words come out of my mouth, I realize how they sounded just like, yes, Lord, you know I won't deny you. I fell right into the trap. Now he's got to throw me away.
Feed my sheep.
What? Yell at me! Condemn me for being the worst traitor in the world. Tell me how much lower than pond scum I am. We know you gotta get rid of me, so get it over with.
Peter, do you love me?
Asking me one time made every moment of my betrayal come screaming back into my head with full force, but asking me twice? What's he trying to do to me? I know. He's got to make it clear why he has to throw me away. Now my answer was no more just an answer. It had become begging. Yes, Lord. You know I love you.
Feed my sheep.
Come on! Scream at me! Ring me out! Tell me you gotta let me go. Tell me you're gonna throw me away. You got to! Why? Because I blew the only chance I had, that's why? Tell me that! Don't just leave me hanging, not telling me anything, leaves me to suffer under this excruciating hope that maybe, just maybe, I'm actually worth something. Anything. I could be his slave. I take that. I know I don't even deserve that much.
Peter, do you love me?
My heart felt like it was about to explode. How worthless does he have to make me feel before he'll finally quit torturing me? And that's what had happened. Suddenly, every moment that we spent together in the last 3 years together came flooding into my mind, and it happened all at once, every moment. And somehow, some way, he finally broke through, and I got it. He knew. Every moment that all of us was walking with him and telling him that we love him and giving up our homes and giving up our family. All these times that we were telling him, oh, we're your best friends. He knew. Before the first man ever walked on this earth, he knew. He knew that all of us are not that different. He knew that every one of us was going to turn away from him. But he knew something else. He knew there'd come a day when we would yearn to come back to him. And our past would keep us from him. He died to get rid of our past. He wasn't torturing me. I get it. He was trying to forgive me so we could move on.
Your Father hasn't thrown you away. He's thrown your sin away, as far as the east is from the west. So why won't you let him forgive you? It's only you that's holding on to your past, not him. Our Father, he wants you back, now. And your families, they need you back, now.
So how different are you? Really? Is your past really that different? He didn't trust anyone more than he trusted me. And I betrayed him. And he still wanted to forgive me. So are you really that different? Don't cling on to your past. Ask him to forgive you. Let him forgive you. And let's move on. Let's go feed the sheep.
Happened so long ago. I cried for mercy back then. I pled the blood of Jesus, begged him to forgive my sins. But I still won't forget it. It just won't go away. So I wept again, Lord, and washed my sin. But this is all he said. What sin will get as far away as the east is from the west? What sin, it was gone the very minute you confessed. Buried in a sea of forgetfulness.